All right, out in the water for Heat 2, we're going to see Pierre Louis-Costes, the Frenchman in the red jersey. He is joined by 2008 world champ Uri Valadao from Brazil. Fellow Brazilian Roberto Bruno, who was one of the trialists. He's out in the yellow jersey, and they are joined by Noel DeArce, another one of the trialists, Noel DeArce from Puerto Rico, carrying the local pride out there in the lineup for this heat.
And you know what? If there's any place in the world that has some very local pride, it is Puerto Rico. Boricua spirit and pride runs deep with the locals, and it's a beautiful thing to witness. Now, up in contention for the world title, we do have two riders out there, and they are Uri Valadao and Pierre Louis-Costes. Pierre Louis, he needs to come out strong in these first 3 rounds and continue on. Pierre Louis-Costes, he is one of the guys currently in what we have distinguished on our system as Group B. If Jeff Hubbard places 5th, PLC needs to finish 2nd or better, and Ryan Hardy needs to place 3rd or better. So, I mean, we're going to fine-tune it. Let's get back to the live action.
Up in the water in white jersey. That is Uri Valadao getting things started, the 2008 world champ from Brazil. As we were saying, Uri Valadao in contention, but, you know, on the outside looking in, Roberto behind in yellow, his fellow Brazilian countryman.
Roberto Bruno, not much there, so he tries to make something happen, hits the lip and forces an invert maneuver, and you can see he just came straight down with no forward projection to help him in the landing, and the wave has just finished him there. Let's take another look at Roberto Bruno's wave. You can see this whitewash on the face of the wave. It doesn't help your speed, and sometimes on your bottom turn you may hit a chop, but here Roberto Bruno just a little bit off. His timing was off. You can see he punches through the wave, and that just slowed him down, lost all his speed, came straight down. End of the show for Roberto Bruno. Not a high-scoring wave at all, but he and Uri Valadao are the only two that have caught a wave first in this 30-minute heat.
Yes, quick exchange from the Brasileiros, Roberto Bruno and Uri Valadao. A 1.8 from Bruno and a 1.5 for Valadao. That'll get them on the board first, but those are going to be throwaway scores.
Yeah, those are definitely going to be throwaway scores. We say this because the riders are scored. There are 2 top waves in this 30-minute heat, and those 2 top waves will be determining who will have the most points, who will place 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
And to touch back on what we were discussing with the title contention, if you go to IBAWorldTour.com and go through the news articles, you will find one that Ryan Hardy put together called The Contenders. There are 3 groups right now. There's Group A, which is basically Ryan Hardy, the most likely to fight Jeff for the world title. There's Group B, and there's Group C. There's a total of 12 riders still in contention. Group C really on the outside looking in. They need a miracle to kind of catch up and get back into the title hunt. Group B kind of in the middle, and again, Ryan Hardy with the most legitimate shot at the title and catching Jeff Hubbard.
So if you're watching live right now in this window, open another tab or open another browser window and follow along. This is an awesome write-up that Shaggy, one of our riders on the IBA World Tour, put together. So if you want to follow along, if you want to have it in front of you, open up the IBAWorldTour.com on a different window and go to the news and then find the title of the news, Contenders. That's where you can follow along.
Yes, it gives a thorough breakdown of the riders and what group they currently stand in regards to title contention, and it also gives the scenarios that could potentially play out for who needs what to keep pace with Jeff Hubbard for the 2011 IBA Grand Slam Series world title.
Yes, there's a lot at stake, very complex, but essentially it comes down to one thing. Jeff Hubbard, if he wins the event and Ryan Hardy places lower than 2nd place, we will have a new world champion.
Yes, we were mentioning yesterday while we were on air for the trials finals, yesterday alone we saw the crowning of the IBA Latin American champion, Kalani Latanzi from Brazil. But this event, we could very well see the men's world champion, the women's world champion, and possibly the drop knee world champion determined. So there's a lot at play.
Whoa, look at this. Nice bottom turn, slides under the barrel. Oh, Uri Valadao from Brazil comes out of that barrel and throws it inverted. Uri Valadao, solid wave. That's what we wanted to see here in this heat. So that is the first solid wave in that heat. Heat number 2, round number 1 of the Grand Slam leaderboard series, leaderboard rounds. Great wave. Uri Valadao.
Yeah, we're in Heat 2, Round 1 of the Grand Slam Series leaderboard section. And we're waiting for that wave score to drop. He's going to get a 7.0 for that. Meanwhile, out the back, Manny.
Roberto Bruno, the fellow Brazilian, looking for a wave on the left. One of the first lefts we've seen this morning. Oh, nice little aerial attack right there on that section. Roberto Bruno, a typical Brazilian competitor, looking for everything that the wave has to offer as far as doing maneuvers. And Roberto Bruno punching through the lip, dropping in. Noel DeArce.
Here we have the local Puerto Rican driving off the bottom, sees a nice section, hits the invert, comes out clean, nice landing, throws into a pocket spin, still going, looking for the next section, and he's going to kick out on this one. So a nice wave exchange there between the Brazilians and our Puerto Rican trialist, Noel DeArce.
Uri Valadao, I believe, had the better wave exchange from those three, only because his style, also the style of Uri Valadao is very clean, very smooth, and the way he maneuvered that barrel ride and that invert at the end of that wave was perfect. We're still waiting to see PLC, Pierre Louis-Costes, on his first wave. Let's take another look here at Noel DeArce, the local Puerto Rican.
You can see Noel dropping down, driving off the bottom. You can see the water planing off the bottom of his board as he cranks that bottom turn, drives up to the top, hits the invert, lands it fairly cleanly, comes out of the white water, eyes up the next section, resets his line, and then he proceeds to go into a pocket spin before ducking out on that one. Solid wave there for Noel DeArce. He will get a 5.0 from the judges for that one, and that gets him on the board. Meanwhile, we had Pierre Louis-Costes getting a wave. It's Uri Valadao in the early lead, though. Here you can see the 25-year-old Brazilian from Terceira Ponte in Brazil, the 2008 world champ, currently in 13th position on the world tour. Uri looking to get a good result and firm up his positioning on the world tour and his standing for the 2012 Grand Slam Series.
So Uri Valadao can probably get another world title if everything falls into place with him. So he is definitely in the run for the money. Uri Valadao, a former world champion, and he's been in the hot seat before, so he knows what's at stake. We are still waiting for the score to drop on PLC's last wave, so I don't think there was much there for PLC.
And you know what? While we have a lull in the action, we're going to throw to Shaggy.
All right, Shaggy, brother, where you at?
Looking good there? Hey guys, I'm down here with my tennis partner Ryan Hardy, except he forgot his tennis racket this trip. Ryan, how similar is this wave to surfing sidewash back home?
It's really similar, yeah. It's a similar size and just a similar wedge and curve to the wave. So it's a really familiar feel. Once I'm like taking off on the wedge and driving down the line, it feels good.
So let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Talk about that invert you did and the claim behind that after that invert. What is the deal with that?
Yeah, sure. It's been a bit of a ritual of mine since about probably winding the clock back to about 2007 when I was in a title race against Hub, and I was doing a few inverts at backdoor. And it's just when the wave explodes real hard and it can mow you down after you've landed. So if you can land flat, get the bounce, and then throw an arm up before it engulfs you, then in the past that's been counted as a make. But yeah, it's a little controversial actually that they're throwing out that there could be that this might need to be changed. So we'll see what happens with that. But I figure as long as you've landed with control and you just get momentum again going forward. The arm is just to show that I've got control, basically, and then get out of there so I don't get washed ashore. Yeah.
Very interesting. Well, congratulations for making your first round heat. Little shout out to WA.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if my family's watching at home. First place in first heat. Psyched. This the momentum I need, and yeah, I'm pumped to go all the way.
Okay, good luck. Well, congratulations. You're done for the day. Back to you guys.
Wow, very interesting from Ryan Hardy. So, I mean, he laid it on the line. I mean, this is it. Live action with Uri Valadao taking a look at that one.
Yes, before that, we also had Pierre Louis-Costes taking a look at one. Took off, ducked out, got a .75. That will definitely be a throwaway score.
All right, PLC, whoa, looking a little antsy now that he is almost at the halfway mark in this 30-minute heat. We have 19 minutes remaining in this heat. Each heat, 30 minutes long. Top 2 waves will be scored, and these are the leaderboard rounds. The first 3 heats that these competitors go through are the leaderboard rounds. And determining how they place in each heat, they will be awarded a certain amount of points. Take a look, live action, here we go, Uri Valadao.
Uri Valadao driving down the line, looking for a section, hits a little late, and just gets stuffed by that oncoming section, man.
Yeah, he looked like a guillotine just got him on that air assault right there, but could not put it together. The lip came down, very bad timing. Uri Valadao just gets chopped in half by the
That
lip.
right there was a liquid fist right to the face.
Exactly. So if you've ever been wiped out by a wave, you know exactly what Uri Valadao is feeling right now, getting just axed on that late timing air maneuver from Uri Valadao.
That's all right. Uri will paddle back out and look for the next one. He'll shake that one off. Meanwhile, we have up in black Noel DeArce from Puerto Rico.
Noel dropping in, pulling in, and that is all. You can see his body bouncing out the back. That is all. A lot of these waves are running away from these riders. They're pulling in thinking that it's going to be a perfect in and out barrel, and they get into that speed line, and the wave just runs away from them.
And as you can see, the inside is very churned up. So the inside, the face of the wave, very foamy on the inside, which makes it that much more challenging. Makes it a little more difficult to hold your rail. It can affect your speed. A little extra for our riders to contend with out there on that inside section. So, I mean, there you can see out in the water. Looks like we have something on the horizon, Manny. It's starting to pop up. As you would say, we got some corduroy action.
Yeah, Isabella is situated above a cliff, and to get down to the beach, you got to drive down like Pupukea style, and you end up on this beautiful sandy beach with reef, and it's just amazing to come down from Isabella and see glassy conditions. And when there's sets coming in, it does look like corduroy are rolling in coming to the beach. But there you go. Current standings up on your screen. Uri Valadao leading the charge.
Yes, for those of you who have never been to Puerto Rico, I highly recommend paying a visit to this island. Be sure to check out seepuertorico.com for history, photos, everything you need to know. Meanwhile, out in the water in yellow, Roberto Bruno from Brazil, driving off the line, punches through the lip, comes out through the white water, completes the maneuver. It's only going to be a one-move wave, but that should replace his 1.8 for his second score, Manny.
You've seen how Roberto Bruno actually rode out that wave. He came out in front of the whitewash. He made sure the judges saw that he was riding the wave, and he cut out. In the previous heat, we saw Bobby Quinones pull off a maneuver. It looked like he pulled it off, but he did not ride it out fully, completely, and it didn't show control at the end of the wave, at the end of that maneuver, and it was deemed incomplete. So ride those waves out. Uri Valadao is a master of that.
You see Uri driving down the line. Looked like he was going to go for a reverse off the top there, and he hesitated. And ended up just almost like an old school floater from the 80s.
You know what? As soon as I started hyping him up, he goes ahead and does something like that. Thank you, Uri Valadao, for putting me on the spot and making me look bad. But no, Uri Valadao knew that wasn't a good wave, so bailed out of that wave, paddling back out. It looks like we may have some waves out the back. But again, thank you, Manny V with Steve Action Jackson, coming to you live from the Encanto Pro in Paradise, Puerto Rico.
There you can see some of our riders in the competitors area stretching out, getting ready to hit the water. That's a really nice competitors area, Manny. They got couches, they got the big screen 42-inch TV there. You can see so everybody can watch the
Looks like they got Coors Light back there, too.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. Yes, Coors Light, one of the event sponsors, providing some serious amounts of free libations. There you can see on deck Jared Houston, Magnu Oliveira, Kalani Latanzi, and Jason Carrion getting ready to hit the water. Jason Carrion, another one of the Puerto Rican trialists who made it through, carrying the flag well for Puerto Rico. they came out in force, and they're still going.
Well, that's what I was saying. I mean, if you saw Hason's six-pack, that is just the tip of the iceberg on these professional athletes putting everything in from their diet to their training regimen and being fit to compete with bodyboarders at this level. Again, our generation, beer bellies, and late mornings, not the same. These riders are professional. Pierre Louis-Costes, he knows what needs to be done. He trains. His diet is beautiful. His lady videotapes him, and he has all the pieces to become a world champion, and he's one of those guys in contention.
Yes, the sport of bodyboarding has gone through a true evolution in the last 2 decades. And it's come all the way here to Puerto Rico for this event. We're going to check out a clip of San Juan, Puerto Rico, Manny.
All right. Again, we are here in Paradise. San Juan is the capital of Puerto Rico, and it's located on the northeast side of Puerto Rico. And let me just tell you, this place is phenomenal.
Yes, San Juan, 500-year-old city. The name is derived as a tribute to St. John the Baptist.
San Juan, correct.
Yes, San Juan, absolutely beautiful, cobblestone roads, a lot of history, a lot of culture, the Spanish people, the African culture, the native Taino.
It does have some Spanish, but the actual real indigenous people were the Taina Indians. They were the original people here, and it wasn't until 1493 when Christopher Columbus, on his second voyage to the Americas, came to Puerto Rico and pretty much started colonizing.
Yeah, San Juan, one of the most lively cities in the Caribbean. There you can see the competitors' booth. Out in the water, we got action, Manny.
All right, that was Uri Valadao trying to nab a bigger wave and didn't look like it was going to form up for him, so he bailed out of that one. So the competitors area, we saw Eder Luciano and Isabella chatting it up. So we got live action throughout the entire first round of the leaderboard round.
And we're waiting for that score to drop from Uri Valadao. That's going to be another throwaway score. He has a 7.0, but everything else he's been struggling on so far. He's still currently sitting second. The Brazilians with the top 2 spots, Roberto, Bruno in first, Uri Valadao in second. But it's still anybody's game right now. With the remaining time in this heat, we're only about halfway through the heat. Pierre's still looking for a solid score, and Noel DeArce looking for a good secondary score.
The riders know that top 2 waves are being scored. So by this time in this heat, you should have one solid score, at least one solid scoring wave, which is a 6, a 7, an 8, and anything higher like that. So if they have that solid wave going into the 10 minutes, end of the 10 minutes, they are looking good for that. So check this out. This guy has a very, very cool story behind him. The people, the bodyboarders from the Dominican Republic actually put some time and effort into this guy right here. He is, they call him Pascal Pac-Man Silverio, and he is one of the first Dominican Republicans to compete on an IBA World Tour event. So shout out to Pac-Man. Up and riding, Noel DeArce.
Noel driving through a nice little barrel section, goes to hit off the end, and it looks like he's going to get lost in the whitewater on that one, so that end maneuver is going to be an incomplete with the judges. But Noel DeArce from Puerto Rico out there, he's currently in the 3rd position, trying to get rid of that 1.55. We'll see if this does it. It was a nice barrel section at the beginning of that wave. His high score of 5.0 still kind of mid-range. Could potentially be a throwaway if he gets a solid wave out there. And meanwhile, out there, that looked like one of the free surfers out there throwing a nice big flip.
We do have some free surfers down the beach, but all the attention right now is on the heat out in the water. Roberto Bruno in yellow, currently leading the charge. Uri Valadao on his tail needs a 4.15 on his next wave to take that first place spot. Noel DeArce, the local bodyboarder, he is currently in 3rd place, needs a 6.16 for first. And PLC, where is he at? PLC has 4 waves and all of them under 2.5. Again, you need that one solid wave to build on. Top 2 waves are being scored in this heat. He doesn't have that one solid wave yet.
I think that flip that we saw that I thought mistook for a free surfer, that was actually Pierre. Unfortunately, he was not able to complete the mover. He gets a 2.1 for his efforts on that one.
Oh, man. All right, so PLC, 9 minutes remaining. Pierre Louis-Costes, a lot of people are pushing for this kid. He's young. He still has a lot of time, but it's nice to see somebody come in full charge and show some serious talent. And PLC is definitely one of those guys. Coming up next, check that out. It is Kalani Latanzi, now the 2011 IBA Latin American winner in the yellow jersey.
Also one of our trialists making it through yesterday. Kalani Latanzi from Brazil looking to hit the water with his fellow countrymen on the beach right there. Magno Oliveira getting ready. They will be joined by the South African Jared Houston and another one of the Puerto Ricans, Jason Carrion.
All right, up and riding, live action. Uri Valadao out the back, slides into that speed position as he tucks into the barrel. Can he make it out? Will it stay open for him? No. A lot of these riders are thinking they can get into these barrels and make it out, even in the fast, high line speed position, and they cannot pull it out.
I thought he was going to make it out of that one. He had a nice high line, very fast speed line, and I guess he just got caught up in the barrel. The barrels have been very tricky with this event so far. Through the trials, we saw people not making it more than making it, but when you do, it's a good payoff, Manny.
All right. Once again, talking back about Pascal Pac-Man Silverio. Sorry, brother. But Pac-Man, all the guys came behind the Dominican Republic rider. He is Athlete of the Year in 2008, which was given by the Dominican Olympic Committee. So just these cool stories from the trials all the way to the pro guys. All of these little stories come together and culminate into what has become so far a great event for the Encanto Pro Puerto Rico. Jared Houston coming up next from South Africa will be wearing the red jersey. This is a stacked heat. You know what? All the leaderboard rounds are stacked. That's the beauty about the main event. That's when you come face to face with the best in the world, with the hungriest in the world. Put them together and you have the leaderboard rounds.
One of the great innovations with the leaderboard round system on the IBA Tour, there's never a heat that you look at and you're like, oh, this one's going to be a boring heat.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, out in the water, you can see some sets rolling through, riders waiting. While we have a break in the action, I would like to mention to everybody the El Yunque Rainforest here in Puerto Rico. Be sure to go online, access www.new7wonders.com/Yunque, YUNQUE, and vote for the El Yunque Rainforest to be one of the new 7 wonders of nature. Please be sure to go online and vote before November 11th, 2011. 11/11/11.
Can you say that's my wife's birthday, actually, 11/11. But let's, can you repeat that website one more time slowly for the
web address for the 7 Wonders is www.new7wonders.com.
Action out the back, action. Oh.
Nice little invert there from Noel DeArce from Puerto Rico, the local boy. He's not going down without a fight in this. He wants to get that point tally up so he can make it to the man-on-man. There you see him driving off the bottom. Hits an invert off the top. Very Ben Severson-esque on that.
I think his timing was all off, and you can see his fin looked like the strap came off. He was reaching around to make sure his fin didn't come off. I think he just...
A little difficulty on the landing.
I think the difficulty was on the bottom turn as well. He was actually sliding up the face of the wave instead of projecting towards the lip of the wave. And that whole wave was a missed timing from Noel, but he was able to piece together a 4.5 nonetheless.
Still, that mid-frame shot of him up in the air, that was probably the cleanest part of the whole. When he actually projected, he got good projection off of that. A little difficulty driving off the bottom, and definitely a little difficulty on the landing. But the in-between part, that's what warranted that 4.5 from the judges.
All right, that didn't help him. Actually, it helped him a little bit, but this guy could make the change right now. Uri Valadao on this wave. Nice
with nice extension on that one, Manny.
Yes, nice extension, nice move. Pulled it off, pulled out in front of the whitewash. Good wave. He's building on a 1.75, so that could help. He only needed a 4.15 to get into that first place position. This could have been it.
Here we have the replay of Uri Valadao driving down the line as much speed as possible. Projects up, hits off the top, gets full extension, tweaks the board up over top of him. Nice invert from Uri Valadao.
Yes, again, he pulls out in front of the whitewash, and just to show that he does have control, he does ride it out right there. Boom, now he can kick out, and that wave has launched him into the first place position. It was a 5.5, so 5.5 and a 7.0 are Uri Valadao's top 2 scoring waves. Now he is in first place with 4 minutes remaining.
And that was Noel DeArce in the black jersey from Puerto Rico taking a look at that one. He's going to let it go by. Something to keep an eye on and make note of with the scoring. This year, judges got together and sat down with the riders and determined that a certain amount of points should be awarded for big maneuvers and the effort. But to maximize the points awarded to you by the judges, you have to exit the whitewater, show control, finish the move cleanly. So that's where you're seeing some of the variations. We saw in the last heat, Babi Quinones scoring a 2.5 on a wave. He felt he should have been scored higher, but he did not exit the whitewater cleanly, and the judges had to take that into consideration.
And again, Uri Valadao, the Brazilians, Roberto Bruno, they know they have to do that, so they ride the wave all the way out. And I think from that point on, what they've seen, what happened to Babi Quinones, a lot of the competitors are watching each and every heat and seeing what the judges are scoring that. And after seeing Bobby do that and not get the full points, I think all these riders are going to ride every maneuver out.
Yes, I've spent extensive time down in Brazil. The talent pool down there is incredible. Something you will learn about the Brazilians if you are not familiar with them. Very aggressive competitors. They try and maximize their rides, their points, and up and riding in red. Pierre Louis-Costes.
You can see him getting a little anxious right there, not waiting it out. Because time is running out. 2 minutes and 36 seconds remaining. And PLC just having a, what do the Aussie call it? When you have a bad heat? Well, whatever it is, PLC is having a bad heat right now. His highest scoring wave is only a 2.2. But he can change it around with 2 minutes remaining. He needs to just relax, concentrate, and this could probably do it, PLC.
Here's Pierre up and riding, going for a flip. Kind of slides out a little bit, pulls it around, and then bails off his board. Pierre, yeah, this is crunch time for him. He's currently in combination situation. It just looks like he hasn't been able to get into the rhythm. Here you see the replay.
Well, PLC is known for his backflips, and he is a master at backflips, and here he is trying to do one of them right now. But unfortunately, he didn't have enough speed, enough projection to come all the way around. In fact, he should have spun the other way, but he comes back in the rotation, which he shouldn't have been coming into. But you know what? He pulls it off, and PLC, nice scoring wave. We'll see what the judges have to say about that. And it comes in as a 5.85. So PLC now has a solid wave under his belt with 1 minute, 20 seconds remaining. It's possible. He only needs a 6.66 for that first place spot. Is there enough time?
We'll have to wait and see. Time running down in this heat. Pierre looking to replace that 2.22. Here you can see his rider profile coming up on screen. The young 21-year-old Frenchman. This kid was pretty much anointed future world champion from the get-go when he came onto the IBA World Tour.
Yeah,
That's a lot of pressure to put on a young kid like that.
And you know what? He's matured. He's come a long way so far. He still has a lot of room to improve. And PLC definitely one to keep an eye on for the title race and next year's 2012 IBA World Tour. So you guys keep an eye on PLC. Again, PLC, if he ends up in fourth place with, there's 30 seconds remaining. I don't know if he made it out to the outside yet, but PLC and Noel, third and fourth place, they are not out of the contest yet. You are going to see him 2 more times. So the leaderboard rounds, you will see your favorite rider at least 3 times.
Yes, one of the great opportunities afforded to the riders is if you have a bad first heat, you still have 2 more opportunities to make up for it.
All right, it looks like yellow. Roberto Bruno, I believe, did catch it under the horn. We will see what the judges, but he's not going to leave anything to spare. He's going to do everything he can on this last wave, whether it is scored or not. And that was a pretty good ride. He's looking for a 5.86. I don't know if that was it, but 5.86 will move him into first place, and that is the end of that heat for Roberto Bruno. And very religious. The Latinos are very religious, I've noticed.
Yes. Brazil, a very Catholic-oriented country, very religious. It's nice to see, to be honest.
Yeah, Magno Oliveira, one of the more religious riders that I know, very down to earth and very cool. And it's just nice to see people respect a religion and not throw it in your face. Magno is one of those guys. Roberto, Bruno, a lot of these guys are very, very cool with it.
And score dropping for Roberto Bruno. He will get a 6.15 for that last race.
Exactly.
That'll be enough to bump him into the top spot and take the maximum of 6 points in that heat.
So Roberto Bruno coming out on top. Uri Valadao in second. Noel DeArce, the Puerto Rican, in third. And PLC in fourth. I remembered the word. PLC just had a shaka. Yeah, so PLC just dropping the ball in that first heat, ending up in fourth place. He will be given 1 point for his fourth place. Again, 2 more heats for PLC. Those points will be added up. The top 16 after those 3 heats advance on to the man-on-man division. Again.